Hello and welcome back to another World of Warcraft lore video. This time it's going to be Blackfathom Deeps, which is one of the instances, well, it's the only instance in Ashenvale, and it's up to the north of the place. So let's dive into the lore. Once this place was dedicated to the Night Owl's goddess Elune. However, it was eventually destroyed during the Sundering and was completely lost in the ocean. And in the ocean, it remained untouched for quite a long time until the Naga and Satyrs, or Satyrs, whatever, were drawn to the ancient power within it. So, what is this ancient power? Well, a lot of people say that it's basically the old gods and there's some sort of font of their power in there. And eventually, one of the things that they found in there was a Kuamai, which was a giant hydra which had taken up residence within the temple's ruins. And a Kuamai was one of the favoured pets of the primordial old gods, and has essentially just been preying the area ever since. Now, many millennia later, members of the Twilight's Hammer clan were drawn to the temple, pretty much led by foul whispers and dreams, which essentially means the whisperings of the old gods, and they claim what they want to do is get favour with a Kuamai by sacrificing both innocents and their own members to the beast all the time while basking in the presence of their old gods. Lovely guys. Now let's talk about the bosses in the place. So the first one is Gamura, which is essentially just the turtle. And when the Twilight Hammer clan found this place, they found this turtle, and because it was so powerful, they decided to imprison it. And since then, they've been tormenting it for years, letting it fall to madness. It now rapidly attacks any outsiders that are in the temple. The next one is a little bit more lore significant, and it is Lady Saraves. This is essentially a Naga, probably a noble since she's called a lady, and what she does is starts doing rituals and things like that, and the clan constantly send her sacrifices and that sort of thing, and they've even granted her own private cove, which is quite a cool pad. Now, the reason why the clan let her live and do this sort of thing is because her rituals, what the clan hope is that her rituals will allow them to get closer to a Kuamai. Essentially what happens when they try to get nearer to this Hydra is they all get eaten, which is a little bit unfortunate for them. The next one is Gelihast, who is a Murloc, and originally he tried to kill the cultists who entered. However, they were impressed with its skill, so they decided to let him stay. He now spends his time making offerings to the old gods and chilling out in his own little personal shrine. The next one is Old Serikis, and this is just a massive water thrasher, and it's one of the few that have survived the cult. They tried to imprison her for food, kill her for food, and it really didn't end that well for the cultists, because those who tried all got eaten, quite the contrary to what they wanted. Next we have Twilight Lord Kelris. This is the leader of the group of the Twilight's Hammer in the Blackfathom Deeps, and he is convinced that a Kuamai is the herald of the old gods at return and is the key to his own personal immortality, and he wants to grow the beast by feeding it. That includes feeding it his followers, which is perhaps a little bit morbid. Then finally we have a Kuamai, who is the Large Hydra, who was created by and apparently favoured by the old gods, but really other than this, he doesn't seem to be that special. It seems like the cultists are really holding him in far more high regard than he actually should be. Now, as for interesting loot in this instance, there's only one thing that I found, and it was the Darkwater Talwar. And the only reason I think this looks cool is because it's kind of like one of the Uruk-hai weapons from Lord of the Rings, which, I don't know, maybe there's some sort of crazy transmog set where you can get that to work. But that's it for this video. This is the first of these that I've recorded, and honestly, I know they're short, but what else can you do with a dungeon like this? So I'll probably just refine the format, make some jump cuts in between the bosses, that kind of thing. But anyway, that's it for this video. Hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.